Hello and welcome to Tales of Myth and Mayhem. My name is Lavaita and welcome to episode 7 of our Hunt of the Reckoning Chronicle, Whirl and Rush. If you've watched the previous episodes, you already know that this is a horror game, that the players have done their lines and veils. Please look after yourselves because we can't do that for you. Let's meet our players. Just to say, Evee is not here just now. Hopefully they'll catch up later, but we need to maybe talk to them about that. So, Logan, who are you? Who's you? And who are you playing?
Well, you said it. I'm Logan. I'm playing a short, little, angry Frenchman who chain smokes named Felix Ducat.
And Michelle, who is here, even though we're using a picture tonight.
Hello, I'm Michelle. I'm playing Sonia Bacon, who is book learning and getting smarter. That's been the big development.
She's a reader.
I'm picturing like a training montage with Daft Punk, Stronger, Better, Faster playing.
Could work.
Yeah, but it's just Sonia who's reading lots of books and not really being that interesting. Just hard work.
She read a lot about werewolves and gargoyles, I think, in the last session.
Yeah, so where did we... So she went home. By home, I mean
Let me do a quick recap, just in case there's people who haven't, because we've just been talking about it, but there may be people watching who haven't. In our last session, our Self hunters have been very much thrown in the deep end. Sonia's been out hunting vampires on the down low for some time, but now a group of military and intelligence organisations are intent on removing all of the vampires from the City of London. In our last session, the cell were seeking a drone with a camera on the front to use while hunting down a gargoyle that they believe could be in the unused tunnels of the London Underground. In exchange for that, they were asked to investigate a warehouse full of a collection of neon lights, some mindless corpses, and a large number of just corpses. Lucas and Sonia found a lot of information there relating to blood sorcery and some of the business dealings that have been going on from the company that were running the warehouse and keeping that collection of neon lights. They left, and Lucas had reported back to Simon what they'd found, and their car drove off into the rain-soaked night of a London Saturday. Definitely on Saturday at this point. Do you want to cut straight to the next morning? Getting the thumbs up from Logan?
Yep, I will have gone back to the pub and slept at the pub.
You've slept at the Mitford Arms.
Yeah.
Double check my days, because I copied all this onto a form. Did I open it? No. So I have to look at the paper, which is... I always think I did the dates far earlier in this book than I did. It's going to bug me if I don't... There we go. It is Sunday, the 11th of March, 2012. Sonia, you wake at the Mitford Arms where you've been sleeping the last few nights. It's pretty close to the river, but you can hear activity outside.
Oh.
Something is going on. It's a fairly quiet street. It's a bit further away, but it's like there's something going on nearby. You can hear some raised voices in the distance.
I'll go have a look and see what's going on.
You open the window, you open the curtain, and outside you can see there's a couple of police boats and some officers and a sort of couple of police vans sitting by the dock. So the Mitford Arms is on the River Thames, opposite MI6's headquarters, basically.
All right, I would like to look up on my phone what is going on. I'd like to go on google.com
Google.com.
Do a search for the location.
Back when there was no AI results.
On the news, on Google News.
And there is not much on the news there yet. It's still clearly a very much ongoing thing. You can see some stuff in the travel news about avoiding the area, but there isn't news about what is happening. I'll
go to Twitter to find the truth.
Imagine what a halcyon day it was. And again,
any hashtags?
Hashtags? Gosh. No, not at this time. I'm wondering if looking on Twitter should be a role, but I'm not sure it would be in this case, because I'm going to take that as like a basic computer use thing, even though it's phone. Yeah, you haven't found anything about what's going on, but you can see there are one police boat, a couple of police vehicles, a bunch of people standing around. There is traffic moving, but the main problem with the traffic isn't that there's like police blocking the road or anything, it's people slowing down to have a look at what's going on. Much in the way as you are.
All right, I'll quickly bash out a text to Millie telling her what's going on. I'm going to go outside and ask a random person in fluorescent yellow what's going on.
Okay. At the same time, Felix, where's the next morning finding you?
So is the Mitford Arms, is that like the pub that we kind of set up with Simon?
Yeah. So that's
yeah,
I think he'd like, set up.
Yeah, he pulled like a gear bench down into there and has been, working on some stuff. So he probably fell asleep working downstairs.
Okay, so you are down in the basement kind of area?
Like where he has like a good workbench.
Yeah, and that's
like
where
he can have his
you're in
tools
amongst
around.
like all the beer barrels and the taps where all that gets changed and moved around. But you've got a workbench and you've set up a few lights so you can see clearly what you're doing. Have you got any like radio or anything like that, some music playing, or do you prefer to work silently?
Yeah, he does like to work quietly, but he'll have like a bunch of like weird conspiracy talk radio on low, and he can like flip through it really easily. So he tries to do that like Ozymandias in the Watchmen thing where he scans through all the different channels just to get like the vibe of the times, except I do it with like conspiracy radio.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a lot you can do with
be...
internet streaming as well. So you can, like anything you're listening to, even internationally, you can get via the miracle of Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and I think he's probably got like a few London-based like pirate radio stations too, just to see like if people are screaming about something hunter-worthy.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to do a little bit of a roll for that, just in case there's anything interesting coming your way. This is why I use a dice roller usually, so I don't drop them randomly on the floor. Okay, that's one success. No, you're not finding anything out on the radios this morning. There is some people playing some very harsh dance music, and they're shouting over it. They're often mentioning the phone numbers of people, so like rather than attributing their shout outs to actual people, they're like Jenny on the 151, I see you, that kind of thing.
Are we like pre-man's not hot?
I don't know what that means.
Oh man. It's in my opinion, very bad rap song that was pretty famous from the UK.
Doing a quick look. Oh,
Rather my country, I'm sorry.
I think it is pre that, but it's that style, judging by the stuff I'm seeing.
So proto Big Shack.
Yeah. Well, like the UK garage scene is a little bit different from that. It's kind of it's. I'm trying to think of a good way of explaining it. It's very harsh, but it's telling the stories of the street.
There is no good way of explaining it. There is no good way at all.
And like they're very enthusiastic, but their knowledge of technology isn't great, so it's often like very distorted and very quiet at the same time.
Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
So does the basement have windows that lead out to the street at all?
You can see up, but it's kind of very diffused light. It's not like a full-on window, so you can't see what's going on, but you might be able to hear that there's stuff happening, and you might hear Sonia bashing about going out to see what's going on.
Yeah,
too.
I think he would have like a couple of windows open just because like he's soldering and stuff like that, and he might have fumes.
Ventilation is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You go out and you see that Sonia's already there talking to a person in a fluorescent jacket. And the person...
I'm in pajamas, in a dressing gown, with my slippers on, just standing there, my hair's up a bit and looks a bit rough, just talking to the first random fluorescent person I see and say, what's going on?
Terrible business, terrible business. Sounds like they found a body in the river.
Ah, that's awful. Oh.
Yeah.
So, like, the suicide, like a drowner? Like, what happened?
Don't know. Just, we got a report there was someone floating in the river. The police came to get him out, and now all this.
Oh, thanks. I want to run back in to the pub.
You'll like run past Felix, who's wearing like a really long white like
I'm gonna say,
lab coat thing
I see
that's way too
Felix
big for him and is pulling out behind him. And he's got fuzzy slippers on too. But like goggles, like
kind of steampunk.
Yeah.
I talked to a copper. There's a body in the river. No, I couldn't get a cause of death or anything without looking weird.
But maybe we could get the drone to take a look.
That's amazing. That's an excellent idea.
Now, is this the one that you acquired, or is this the one that you... So I don't know if Simon's had it delivered to you just yet.
Oh, okay. I heard rumors of a drone, is what Felix will say.
Oh. Well, essentially, the thing you were doing in the previous session was in order to get the drone, you'd been sent to check out whatever was going on in this warehouse.
Okay, so we have a mission first.
No, the mission has been done, and the information has been delivered by Lucas, but I'm not sure that they've got the drone to you just yet.
Okay. Well, I can use improvised gear to cobble together something small and light to do that. So yeah, so I guess Felix will get excited. He's like, "I have just the thing. Hey, come with me to the basement."
All right, I'll run with you. I'll run with you to the basement.
Yeah, I mean, well, you outpace him after like 3 steps because his legs are going really fast, but he's not going very far.
I will go to the basement and wait for Felix.
It's not far to the basement. I'm not going to make you roll to get there, but what do you want to have made that will...
Yeah, so I want to use improvised gear to create some kind of like audio-visual flying device that can...
Oh, I'm smart now. I can help if I can give an assist of some kind.
You can. You can give him an extra die.
Okay, cool. And so these will last for like the scene, right? So
yeah.
I just kind of want something to help us, like the way that the improvised gear thing works from what I understand, and like happy to talk about how other people understand it, but it gives you a bonus, like a die bonus to some other skill.
Yep.
So I imagine that would be like investigation or something in order to like...
Yeah, that could work like that, depending on the equipment, and like you're looking to investigate with it, so that would make sense.
Okay. I guess I want to like see if we can get a peek at this body from a distance, like so maybe something with like a telephoto lens and a drone type deal.
Okay,
that can fly.
That's going to be intelligence plus craft, I think. Or do you want to like invoke technology in there? I'm trying to balance the craft and technology because your craft is you've got your extra specialization in improvised weapons. Yeah,
but this isn't really a weapon, right? So I don't think I'm going to mount like a gun on it. that could be like way too.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Also,
I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're going to shoot a corpse?
Yeah. Like maybe I can have little flying guys that look like dragonflies with like a pistol one day. But I think for now, I don't want to draw any attention. So I want to try to make it look like as much like a kid's toy or something.
It's going to be like the beginning of Half-Life 2 with the little. Anyway. So that's feeling increasingly. That's feeling more like intelligence technology, if that's all right with you. But
I'm happy to die because I'm there.
So if Michelle is helping, if Sonia is helping, you can get an extra 1 die on that roll.
Okay.
And this is where I realised that I haven't opened Roll20 like a terrible GM.
Oh wait!
I knew there was something. Always something. I'll wherever you've rolled, I'll see it when I get there. But I'm just getting there.
Intelligence. Well, I haven't yet because like I clicked on the attribute first, like a total noob.
Don't worry about it.
We're gonna add the 1.
We did try a different dice roller last week, and that worked all right because it also shows the rolls on the screen, which is nice. But it just means you'd need to all have character sheets as well because it'd be a separate thing. Come on, open the game. Show me the dice.
4 successes.
4 successes. That is pretty good. Okay, this is going to work for one scene. It's going to work fairly reliably, but we'll be checking how far away you get.
Build a drone.
A very small one.
So it's got like rotor on it, like a hovercraft. It's got like 2, 3 maybe, and it's like bright orange and stuff. Looks like a kid's toy.
My contribution was I found a YouTube video that I persuaded Felix after lots and lots and lots of arguing to watch, and he relented that the video person was right about one thing.
Yep.
What was the
my
one
contribution?
I added like a third stabilizer or something, probably. I don't know.
See, people on YouTube aren't all stupid.
That's true. There has many good things on there. You just have to sort through. So he's got like a stack of like black and white TVs, like those long ones that you would take with you like camping, and they're like black and white and stuff like that. He's got a bunch of them piled on each other. Like a few of them are keyed into the drone. Like he's got like a front and a back and a down. And so he'll just like operate it out through that open window and see what we can see.
Okay, so you're getting like a shaky black and white picture. It's moderately good quality. As you fly this tiny little thing out, it goes up towards the river. You can see the police operating. There's people in a police boat. They've lifted the body out of the water into the boat, and it's in a sort of, it's like on a kind of plastic tarpaulin kind of thing. You know, it's more sturdy than that, but I can't think of the exact word right now. But they've got the body on that, and that's what they're going to look at it on. They're going to seal it up and take it to the shore where they can presumably do some kind of autopsy.
Okay. In his best Blade Runner voice, he's going to tell the drone to enhance.
Can I, whilst that's going on, can I turn on an app on my phone, a police scanning app, and have the police signal radio of the local area playing through?
Mm-hmm. Give me a intelligence technology, please, Sonia.
Happy to.
Difficulty 4. Sorry, I've realised listening back to this, my chair is creaking a bit and I need to oil it, but it's like all the little squeaky noises. It's my chair. Sorry about that. That's a 3. Do you want to spend a willpower, or do you okay to take?
I've spent 3 already. I don't know how getting it back.
Oh,
works.
You know what? We should have done that at the top, because I forget that. Like, I'm so used to the vampires need to do like a rouse check thing at the start of every game, every morning stroke sunset for them. Yeah, your willpower refreshes, so you should have had your willpower replenished.
Oh, great!
Having had your rest, so yeah, put all your willpower back on. Sorry about that.
I'll spend a willpower.
Terrible housekeeping. Sorry. So spend 1 willpower and you can reroll up to 3 die.
I'm gonna reroll.
There's 2.
5.
There's only 2 that you failed on, so
I roll 2 d10s.
That's fine as long as you get 6 or more. That's an extra 1 success. That gets you there.
Huzzah!
Okay, they are talking about reports of a male body that's been found on the Thames. They're lifting it. They're going to take it to a place for autopsy. You know where they're taking it to.
Great.
It's one of the nearby hospitals. It's not Guy's Hospital. It's the one that's out in... Oh, where is it? Seth works. It's near where Seth works.
Oh. The one in Denmark Hill. Yeah, I know it.
Oh, I feel like mentally I haven't been to London since the last session, so I've forgotten all the names of places. It's not Elephant and Castle.
It's not St. George.
Camberwell.
No.
It's near Camberwell. King's College. That's the one. They're taking it to King's College Hospital for an autopsy.
So I say that to Felix, if we need to break in and examine the body ourselves, I know where it is.
That is not actually a bad idea. And he'll like reach in. He actually, so on my character sheet, I've got like a false identity, like a mask.
Yep.
And it's actually as a medical examiner.
Oh my goodness.
I have points in emergency medicine.
Oh, this could be a big mess, but let's see how. Yeah, I'm intrigued about how this is going to go.
So he tells like a quick story about how he used to do emergency medicine. He was like a combat medic many years ago, but he doesn't like get into the details. So he's got like fake credentials there. That
Felix,
however,
you're like an onion. I am peeling off the layers just by being around you.
I'm just trying to find it real quick because it says a fun thing. Here we go. It's a good fake identity, including a credit card, bank account, credit history, birth certificate, etc. It can pass state or provincial, national police, FBI, Scotland Yard, or the equivalent. If you had a military intelligence record, it has been classified. So
That's
yeah,
excellent.
Yeah, so
It
mechanically
does not
that's
say.
3 dots in mask, which is broadly the same as having 3 dots in mask in the other World of Darkness splats.
Yeah, and then I've got 3 dots in medicine with a specialization. So
You do.
yeah. So Felix is like, I think we should go take a look. Yes.
Oh, I could be your like assistant.
Okay. How do you want to do this then? Do you want to go down there immediately, or do you want to give them a bit of time to like do the groundwork and then?
Yeah. See, that's the thing.
Maybe we
Like,
should hit there tonight, like this evening, because they're going to be fucking around with the body at the
if
scene
it's
for a
first thing in
while.
the morning, I think if they suspect foul play, they'll try to get an autopsy done ASAP.
Well, if you've
if
got this pasty, can we go and have a look at the body now?
No. Well, because like it's got to go through proper channels. I bet the best thing to do is probably to wait until later when like they've got like a skeleton crew and then use the credentials to like bluff our way in.
Sounds
Because
good.
there's going to be like a medical examiner that, normally does this kind of stuff, which isn't me. So, I don't know.
And it's a Sunday.
I guess maybe could Felix make a roll to see when the best time to go would be? Because as a person, I'm like, I feel like trying to bluff my way in as a medical examiner is not going to go well. So the cops probably all know that person very well, or those people very well.
I think
But orderlies and such, I think I could maybe bluff.
Are you feeling like that's more wits or intelligence? I think it might be wits.
Yeah, I'm fine with wits. Let's see. What would I pair that with?
I'm thinking awareness.
Okay.
If that's cool.
Sure.
Let's say this is just a broad bit of knowledge. Let's say DC 3 for this.
Okay. Can I add the 1 for my specialization?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Let's make that a 3. Let's find out.
Oh no.
Only 1 of 3. Yeah,
Only
not
one.
great.
Okay. Well, I mean, you've got.
So he
some
has an
sense-
idea,
Yeah.
but it's not a good one, maybe.
The hospital will be open later for visiting, and it may be busier than normal because it's a weekend and more people come on weekends. You maybe don't know that hospital so well. Maybe you've had no reason to go down there.
All
I
right. So,
can pretend to
Sonia,
be a
we have a
loved one.
plan. So Felix is really confident about this plan.
All right.
Sonia, sorry, what were you saying just there?
I can pretend to be a loved one.
A sick loved one or the loved one of someone in the hospital?
So I'm someone who's dead. The person who's dead.
Oh.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm terrible at everything, every skill and possible thing involved in that, but I can try it.
Oh, man.
I will almost certainly be found out immediately.
I'll do my best to break you out if you get arrested.
I think that'll be a terrible idea. But I have a friend. Maybe I ought to look some things up as he is local.
He's not at work today either.
I'd like to give Seth a call.
Okay. Let me just quickly grab my stats for Seth, just in case I need this. Seth has had a visitor,
Oh, interesting.
and I'm just trying to keep track of the timeline on that because of some reasons I'm not entirely clear on what that visitor is doing right now.
Oh my god.
Actually, I've got some idea. We've got a little overlap here with another game.
This is terrifying.
Yeah.
If you hurt one hair on this man's head, I will be upset.
Oh, it's going to be the complete opposite of that, I think.
Is someone having sex with him?
No. No, I think it's someone who would protect him as well.
Oh, that's good.
That was a big jump.
What's the opposite of dying?
Not being dead? I mean,
I
this is
guess
that's a very
best.
difficult question to ask in the World of Darkness, actually, now I think about it.
Doing the thing that makes you the most alive, whatever that may be. That could be sex for a lot of people.
Yeah, but some people call it like tiny death is an orgasm. Anyway, we're getting way off the subject here.
Why would they call an orgasm a tiny death? That's so weird.
It's poetic.
That's a French thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. They have to be all goth about it.
So Dang Toreador. Okay, yeah, Seth answered the phone at that time of day.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I wasn't expecting to hear from you today. Haven't you been, like, out and doing huntery heroic things?
Yes, I wanted to make sure you were okay.
Yeah, there was a slight weird thing on the way home from work last night, but I think it's all cool. Actually, no, it was 2 nights ago. No, I just met a guy who was having a problem, seemed to be freaking out a bit in the street. I just let him stay on my sofa for a day. He was gone when I came back.
Huh. Okay, that's interesting.
He was clearly dealing with some of the same stuff I was dealing with.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, fair enough. I'm glad you could help him.
Yeah, well, you'd want to be the help for someone else that you needed back in the day.
Yeah. Do you have any capacity for any guy in the chair stuff?
Guy in the chair.
You'd be my guy in the chair,
Oh, like in Batman.
like in the Spider-Man.
Yeah, okay, Spider-Man. Yeah, I can do that. Do you need me to be at, like, multiple screens of computers, and what am I looking up?
Well, a body's been found on what is it? Is it Battersea Bridge?
I was literally just looking at this, and I have closed
It's not
that
Battersea
window.
Bridge. It's
It's
Lambeth
not.
Bridge.
It's Lambeth. It's Lambeth. Yeah.
Yeah. So a body's been found at Lambeth Bridge, which is very close to our base of operations, which is really strange.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Vauxhall Bridge.
Yeah, we're Vauxhall Bridge. Don't know why I said Lambeth Bridge. That was very silly. But yeah, body's been found at Vauxhall Bridge. Would you be able to look up any information with the hospital? Without that being very close to where you are?
Yeah, and you hear furious typing in the background. Do you expect this body to, like, rise again when the sun goes down?
I don't know.
Ooh.
Just basically, if you could look up any name or like information on who this person was, how they died, anything like that, anything that comes up.
I will get right on that. And
Thanks.
I'll keep my phone on, like, the noisy alert in case you call, because I don't
I
answer
might be
the
able
phone
to
much.
send them a recording of the drone footage there as well.
Yeah, Seth, what's your email address? We want to send you something.
You've got my email address.
I do. We're going to send you some drone footage.
I'm gonna put it in like an electronic Dropbox so that it doesn't go right to his email.
Oh, okay.
Considering that we've been dealing with some
All right,
organizations.
Seth, I'm going to
and
send
such.
you instructions
A link
that
to a
are
Dropbox.
overly complicated and confusing for you to find these files.
And then, like, it's in a zip file with a password and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
and
I have to make everything
every
complicated.
third character has to be base 10. You got that? Every third character. All right, good. All right, good one, Seth. All right, catch you later.
Base 10. Okay. Thanks. Bye, Sonia.
Did the footage that I'm picking up, was it good enough to get any sort of physical details like gender expression?
It was a little bit grainy, but it looked like a male clothed body.
Okay. Any signs of like obvious damage or?
No. Almost weird that there weren't any, to be honest. Just signs that it's been in the river, like, at least overnight.
Right. So the normal stuff I'd expect from being in the river all night.
So, Felix, let me just get this right.
Yes.
Since we've met, there was that body in the tree.
Mm-hmm.
There's the stuff that Simon's got going on with the vampires.
Mm-hmm.
There was the stuff with the neon lights. Like, did you know about anything about that?
I only heard about it from you and Lucas.
Yeah.
Lucas, who is not sleeping well, I hear.
No, there's a lot going on. And then we got the gargoyles. Could be under the city, under Elephant and Castle.
Mm.
And
then there's that haunted apartment.
Yeah.
Which I have not given up on. And I think we should still talk when we have time.
There's so many things.
I'm more concerned about Lucas and that little toy, though. I don't want it affecting his judgment, you know?
He's been doing this longer than we've been alive. He should be okay.
Sometimes it does not always make you more resistant. You know.
It's true. The more alive you are, the more damage you can get.
It's not always a good thing to be in it so long.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to shower. I'll have some breakfast, and then we'll go and chase up this dead person, I guess.
You say you're gonna shower. Felix looks like perplexed, and he's like, "Wait, do we have showers here?"
Yeah, I've been showering here. Have you not been showering here?
I was just using the sink in the kitchen.
The kitchen?
Yeah, he's got the big sink, 2 bays, and the thing goes. Tss, tss. It's a good spray. There's lots of good water pressure.
I just walk away with my head in my hand, just like, ah. Finn's been washing his balls in the sink.
Well, good news is those are like a lot higher than he can get up.
Well, that's something. I wasn't trying to.
If he uses one of those sticks with like the claw at the end, he can grab the hose and bring it down to himself.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I'm glad he can get around.
Yeah, you got to be clever if you can't be tall.
That's a great motto for life.
Either that or find a good box. I don't know.
Didn't know Felix played cricket. Anyway, you do your morning things, washing, getting dressed, having breakfast. What does Sonia have for breakfast?
It's Sunday, so Sonia did a fry up.
Oh my goodness.
It's what she does on a Sunday, and nobody's going to get in the way of that. So she does like bacon, sausage, tomato, all the egg, all the usual stuff. Puts a plate in front of Felix.
He pulls the goggles off, and he just has 2 clean patches, and then just grime everywhere else. And he's like, "What is this?"
It's Sunday. We have a fry up on Sundays.
Fry up. Oh. And then he just like pulls all of these wrappers of like protein bars and stuff out of his pockets and dumps them off to the side. You can see he's just like living off cigarettes and protein bars.
No, here's food though.
Yeah. He looks at his watch. He's like, a few bites then.
And it's probably a good kitchen in this place as well, so you've probably got all the facilities you need to make a great job of it.
Yeah, I didn't have to microwave the bacon here.
Is there ale in these taps?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to have an orange juice because I'm normal.
Yeah, I'll have an ale. And then that'll make riding the razor scooter later fun. The powered razor scooter.
Oh dear, this is going to be a disaster, isn't it?
Yeah, don't try this at home, kids.
Okay, I mean, no one should be trying this at home because of the vampires. The day passes and it becomes the afternoon. There's people out doing regular Sunday afternoon things. A few people try the door of the pub thinking it's going to be open, but it's not because you're living in it just now.
Maybe I should electrify that. I'll put it down in my notes.
You could just put a sign up. Just putting that out there.
After breakfast, I would like to do some reading on the dead girl that we found in the tree. I had to look online and see if what the media's been reporting on her since over the last few months.
There weren't a lot of reports about that. It was almost sad how little attention that was paid. Let me just, because I did name her. Juliet Cafferty.
Juliet Cafferty. Let me write that down. That sounds like important information. Juliet.
Cafferty. That's a great mechanical keyboard. I'm just seeing it on the volume meter.
Sorry. So yeah.
Yeah,
how'd she die?
It's unclear how she died, but mainly there was blood loss because the hand had been removed. And there was interest in it because of some of the details, it's a very weird way to die, very public place to have been left. But also, due to rigor mortis, they had a lot of trouble getting the body out. So the tree stump has actually gone now. The tree stump was removed after the body was removed. But they had to cut into the tree stump to get the body out because of rigor mortis, meaning that the body wouldn't bend enough to be removed. With the slightly grim implication that the body must have not been all that long dead when it was put in there, and may not have in fact been dead at all.
Right, because rigor mortis has a time window too. Like it'll stop being rigorous after a minute.
But when you found it, it was looking pretty stiff, and you wouldn't have been able to get it out. Like you did try, but in order to get it in there, it must have been more bendy than that. In layman's terms.
Yeah, I think it peaks after about 12 hours or so. So we caught it like within 12 hours of death, probably.
So the location of death or the location of being persuaded to get into a tree must have been close to the tree itself.
Yeah. I mean, Felix will share that with you. He knows a bit about bodies.
And I think Lucas had said earlier that it sounded like there might be some kind of magic stuff going on there, that thing of cutting off the hand and having it buried a short distance away.
Yeah.
Which I'm still amazed we found the hand. That was pretty good on us.
That was a very good roll.
But I don't think we consulted the lore to quote Supernatural on the hand, right?
No, but you got the info from Lucas, so I didn't feel the need to...
Okay. I just didn't know if the hand itself was like an occult object or something that we could look into.
In some cultures it is. It's some... it was a way to deal with witches. Like remove the hand and they can't come back kind of thing. Or if the hand's the bit that's the problem.
Oh, got you. I do remember Lucas saying something like that.
So the morning turns into the afternoon. Sonia's had a fry up. Felix has had some bits of bacon, and
I can use that time to craft a fake ID for Sonia too.
Yep.
Since she was going to be my assistant, can do that at least. I don't know if there's a role for that. Let me check it out.
I think there is a role for how you do masks. I'm just going to quickly consult the big book.
If I can assist, I would like to.
I don't. You can try. But I don't know. Let me check the attributes and then we'll see.
It's under cobbler. It says you can make or source masks. Making a mask takes 3 days per dot. Oofed. Okay, so it could take some time.
That's only if you're making a full fake thing for Sonia. If you're just making a basic fake ID, I think we can speed that up a little bit.
1 day per dot. Okay.
Yeah, so you can do like a 1 dot mask in a day.
Under leverage.
Because in another game, we had someone do this for us.
Oh, great. It does say a margin on the social test, so there's got to be some kind of test here.
Yeah, and it's going to be... it's going to cost on the return. Energy leverage margins on the social... Yeah, so you're not buying it off a cobbler, you are making it from scratch. So I don't think you have to...
under masks, I have a dot for cobbler to make it.
Yeah, so I think that means you can make the mask.
Okay. Oh, because otherwise you do a social roll to get someone to get
I think
mask,
so.
Right?
But you're not having to pull any favors for this because you're just making a basic ID to prove that you are eligible to work. Like you're not making a passport, you're not making a driver's license. You don't need to get or the DMV kind of thing. You wouldn't have to get the official documentation to alter. You're just going to make up a pass that will do a cursory glance in the hospital.
Yeah. So would you like a roll or?
I'm just checking what that roll would be because I don't know if there because you've got that ability. I don't know if there's rolls for.
It might be a good idea to make like a intelligence and tech or something or craft just have a baseline for people to like see through it. I don't know.
I think I'm thinking I will do that because what I don't want to do is have the chance of the mask not working because you are a cobbler, you have that skill, and I don't want to put that skill up to chance.
And likewise, I don't want it to just be like the player hand waving it, the player being me, just being like, no, it works.
No, it just happens. No, it doesn't just happen. I think the time where that will happen, where we'll roll for the craft, is when someone else is looking at it, and then it'll be an opposed roll about how well they're looking at it.
Oh, that's good.
Sounds cool?
Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay, so afternoon, what are we doing as we go into the afternoon? Sonia's been researching. Felix is building some small devices and working on that fake ID.
Yeah, and depending on the time, like I do have like the makes things fast perk.
Mhm.
But Felix had this idea because he found out that when he broke back into those apartments that he was caught on film, and he thought he was being like sneaky. He didn't think he was getting caught, so that bothered him. And he was like, I want to make some kind of like white noise scrambler kind of thing that interferes with like cameras and audio, that kind of thing. So it doesn't have to be a for now finished project.
That might be something that you start working on that we'll come back to. So
Yeah,
I'm going to
so
make a
he's
note
like-
of that, and then we'll So I think the first thing would be researching how those devices work.
Yep.
'Cause I don't
And then
think
trying to scramble them.
Yep.
So that like the goal is having like something he could improvise that we could carry in our pockets, that when we were within a visual range, would scramble them so that we wouldn't be caught on film.
And that would just be cameras, or would it be microphones too?
Yeah. Yeah, something that like maybe emits an electrical signal that messes with that stuff.
Right.
I don't know.
That's going to be a multi-part project, and I'd like you to
Yeah.
roll an. It feels like it should be academics, but that's not a great role for you. Yeah, let's say intelligence
I can
science.
help on the academic side.
No, let's say it's intelligence science, because that feels most appropriate for
Okay.
this. And it's not chemistry, so you don't get an advantage. But let's just see what your DC is, and we'll see how far you get with that, and then we'll build it up. Like
I
a
can
little
help with
project.
the academics.
So I got 5 out of 2 successes.
Did you get a crit?
And
I'm just rearranging my windows so I can see.
I don't think so.
Oh no, you got 5 success. It was set to DC 2 by default, and you got 5. Yeah.
Okay, should I set it separate?
It's
so
fine.
different?
It's fine. 5 successes is enough. So you've got the information you need to start building this thing, but
Okay,
you haven't
cool.
got the time to start building
Put a pin
building
in
it
it.
yet.
Cool.
But you've got an idea of what it'll look like, and maybe you need some specialist parts. I'm trying to think like radio transmitters kind of thing to interfere with
Okay,
cameras
cool.
specifically.
Yeah, for now he just has like some plans he's drawn up, and so he's got cigarette holes in it, coffee stains, blueprints.
Okay, Sonia, do you want to? What have you been researching exactly? Is there anything I can give you right now that will be of use?
So I'm thinking bodies that have been found. Body in the tree. There's body by the on the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
There may be a link there. So I would like to keep looking up as much information as I can about the body in the tree, whilst also touching in with Seth periodically, see what he has uncovered, and seeing if there's any links between the two.
You're welcome to add to my, was it like Pepe Silva board that I have of like locations of bodies found all over London in like the last 10 years.
You've got like a big map with dots in it, and
Oh yeah, like
I
little
will-
lines,
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
okay. As the afternoon goes on, Felix is still buying equipment downstairs. You can hear him taking notes, building some stuff. There's a sort of thud of a printing press kind of thing as you like stamp something down. Outside, there's people just having regular days. And Sonia, looking out the window at these people just like doing Sunday stuff, walking out with their kids. Some of them have got dogs. Like the people you're hunting, the vampires, they don't get this. They don't get family. They don't get pets. They don't get afternoons in the sunshine. Which one do you feel closer to right now?
I don't know.
Ooh.
That's a thinker.
Sorry to just drop that on you, but
I was gonna say we also don't get to have those days with family in the sun as hunters.
I'm not. I quite like the way things are. I'm quite into it in a way, but I'm also kind of not. So yeah, that's confusing.
sorry, but also
Oh, that's okay.
yeah.
Sonia's going to choose not to think about it.
Okay.
Just gonna be like, nope, don't go down that road. That's not going to be a happy one.
One second, so I make sure I get my times right, because March and May are very different in terms of time of day. God, I've taken a lot of notes for this.
One thing like Felix will tell Sonia before we like embark is that she needs to like pack weapons. Like he's like, I know you carry your big stick, but we may not be the only people interested in this body, and it also may wake up when we are looking at it.
I've got my light and I've got my stakes. Do I need anything else?
He's got like a big friggin' pistol, so he's like,
I have a gun. I've never used a gun before.
Is this a real gun, or is this the water pistol?
Oh, he has a real gun now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's made it himself. He has like a 3D printer. He's kind of like printed himself up like a ghost gun.
Oh, but they said you wouldn't download a gun.
I know. I lied.
At about 6 p.m, the sun's gone down. The streets are getting quieter because Sunday night is still very much Sunday night at this point. There's slightly fewer people around, slightly different kind of person around as the night starts on. When do you want to leave for the hospital?
Right after I convince Sonia to put this wig and lab coat on with her new ID.
I'm just standing there like, I'm like a spy.
He has like a trunk and he opens it up and it's full of wigs of various colors and beards and stuff.
That feels like that should be a merit of some kind or an advantage.
So his safe house is like an antique store, like thrift store. So it's like full of random junk, and that's kind of where I pull from. Well, the only reason I'm saying wig is like, doesn't Sonia usually have colored hair?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Sonia's number, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like those things that look like shower caps that nurses sometimes wear. We could just do that.
So at this point, she's looking normal.
Yeah, we got some scrubs, maybe.
Yeah, you can't see a single Pokemon on her, which is unusual.
We can decorate your badge with like Pokemon and stuff, right?
No,
I feel like
fine.
nurses always have like, weird.
I'm undercover. I'm disguised. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go.
Do we hop on the electric scooter?
Hell yes.
1 second. Need to quickly just double check this disguise malarkey.
Yeah.
Because that's
it is definitely, it's malarkey for sure.
It's shenanigans. It's
if you let me shenan once, I will shenan again.
You know what? Again, I think this is going to be a contested thing at the point where we try and do something with it. That's what I think. I think this is going to be a performance check when we get there.
Oh, great! That'll be cool.
Yeah.
At least we got our willpower back, though.
Mm-hmm. So. We're going to some of it.
Yeah, I'm terrible at this. This is going to be awesome.
We'll just brute force it with lots of willpower.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I'll hit them with my stick if it goes wrong.
Always a good plan B. Hit it with a big stick.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So, the Denmark Hill campus of the King's College Hospital is well south of the river. It is quite a low building. It looks vaguely Georgian. It's got big rectangular windows with like the white 6 pieces to it, sort of white window frames and like 6 panes in each window. There's colourful pictures outside of like presumably nurses' faces, but it could be the face of models as well, and like some written stuff about each person. At this time of night, I'm going to say that visiting hours are finished so they can serve the food. So there's a steady trail of people slowly leaving who have finished up for the day. They've maybe been to see their sick relatives and stuff.
So there's usually like a employee entrance,
yeah,
where you can go through, and I think we're just going to try to look. But as we established, I'm not super familiar with this hospital, so
Yep. Have you researched where that would be during the afternoon?
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
we
I
probably
think Sonia
did
might
that.
even know just on local knowledge, to be honest. But
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
okay, so it's around the back of the building. There's a roadway to get there, so you could take the bikes all the way there. I know that Sonia's on a I've forgotten the term for it, the fold-up bike. Yellow.
Brompton.
Thank you. And Felix is on his scooter. What a pair.
Yeah. Some kind of ridiculous motorized scooter. I don't know.
You might be conspicuous as a pair. Do you want to ride those vehicles into the staff car park and try and stash them somewhere, or do you want to park somewhere else and walk over there?
Let's park at the car park.
Yeah, like we're normal people going to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also have like my big ass bag. I never go anywhere without my bag.
And I think we talked about before we started the game in general, but like I'm not going to make you inventory everything in your bag every time we start. But like if you've got anything weird, we might go, are we sure you remember to bring that? But I'm going to generally assume that you've brought all the basic things you usually have.
Yeah.
Because for this kind of thing, I'm not into doing a massive inventory list as you're packing everything. So there's a bunch of low white buildings towards the back. The staff car park has got like the little kind of pots on a stand on either side. It looks like, the decorative pillars on each side. As you pull in, there's a bank of air conditioning units. And next to there, no cars parked because no one wants to park next to the air conditioning units. So that's probably the best space for you to put your bikes.
All right.
Unless you want to go.
We are the coolest.
So Sonia's disguised as a member of staff. She has a badge that fairly closely matches the ones you were able to find and mimic. Felix, how are you disguising yourself? Are you not disguising yourself? Are you just going to be a...
Yeah, it was similar. Like I think his mask that he has, his 3-dot mask, is as like
medical professional.
Someone. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do a couple of things here. The moment of truth comes, and Sonia comes to try and swipe her card to get into the door at the staff entrance. Felix, can you do me a wits technology roll?
Yeah, you got it.
3 difficulty.
Okay. Don't fail me now, dice. Let's go.
Nailed it. The door beeps and slides open. You're in.
He just gives her like a wink, like. Eh.
I just say that's fucking awesome.
It's pretty smooth, huh? Quick, let us not tarry.
I walk like I imagine Trinity in the Matrix walks. So I imagine I'm walking just really cool.
Felix unstably waddles at top speed with his little lab coat fluttering behind him.
I mean, this is the problem with a long coat, is that you just feel epic when moving at speed.
I'm just trying not to trip on it.
Fair. There's a layout of the hospital on a fire alarm, like emergency routes. Not fire alarm, but in the event of a fire, please go here. There's a map, and you can see where stuff is on there by the door. So what are you looking for to start with? Are you going straight to the morgue, or are you going somewhere else first?
I would say morgue. What do you say?
I'd like to take a picture of the map on my phone.
Ooh, good
call.
call.
A picture of it.
Okay.
A cunning plan.
I'm saying we should be going to the morgue, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's where the bodies are kept. There might be some people on staff. We may need to cause a distraction, but let us see.
So I'd like to look on the map and see where the morgue is, I guess.
I'm just double checking because I saw my list of fun and unusual rolls. Sonia, can you give me a Resolve Awareness difficulty 3, please?
Yes. Three.
Again, nailed it.
Success.
Three successes. Okay, you found a route towards the morgue. I'm pretty sure you know how to get there. But as you open the door into the corridor, there's a lot of staff moving around, so you're going to have to... And they're all doing their own thing a little bit, but you're going to have to keep the route in your head, as well as like just sailing past these people without panicking. Do you want to take any like steps beyond the things you'd usually be doing?
I would like to walk coolly.
Okay.
We're gonna walk casual.
But I think I'm going to try and walk with purpose. Because I've read in many places that if you walk with purpose, people tend to assume you know where you're going. So I'm going to walk with purpose.
The thing I'm feeling here is that this should probably be a composure and either subterfuge or performance. And
All
I've
right.
just seen what you've got in those.
Let's do it.
Let's just roll it and we'll see how this goes. Now I'll roll to see how closely other people are paying attention.
So what am I rolling?
Well, however you feel out of composure and either performance or subterfuge.
And maybe like Felix can aid somehow.
I think you can. You're both there,
No?
so maybe
okay.
just having Felix there is possibly giving you...
I mean, I don't know if this works, but you could give your hand like one good, like quick squeeze and a nod.
Yeah,
or
help with
some
the
words
confidence.
of encouragement or something. Yeah.
Also, like people might be more inclined to be looking at Felix than at Sonia. So yeah, give yourself an extra 1 die in that because of the help.
Awesome, thank you. How's difficulty?
I'm not going to give you a difficulty because I'm going to be rolling for the other person, which I'm just figuring out.
I got 2 successes.
Okay, I'm going to...
out of 3 dice rolled. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. So I've got... it's going to be intelligence, awareness, this person.
Oh, was that with the extra die too? You had 3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't that was not a good roll for Sonia.
You had like 1 in each.
Mm-hmm. No, 2 in one and nothing in the other. Okay, the other person got 3. They're like, those people look a little bit weird. Don't think I've seen them before. And I think what I'm going to do in response to that is start a clock. And at the end of that, I'm going to borrow this mechanic from Blades in the Dark. And at the end of that clock, the alarm will be raised.
That's my favorite mechanic to steal from that game.
Yeah.
Such a good one.
Desperately want to play it, but we'll get to it sometime.
Same.
So what do I notice?
What you notice is that you think someone might be on to you, so you might have to hurry a little bit. Don't have to run, but you're...
Yeah.
Someone started the clock. And
I'm going to give Felix a look.
The alarm's
communicates, we're going to be rumbled. Let's move fast.
You know where the morgue is. You can get there.
Yep, let's morgue. Quickly.
Morgue. It's Morgan time.
It's Morgan time. Oh, no.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was such a bad joke, and I can't believe I said it out loud.
Yeah. Well, if the toe tag says Michael Morbius, I'm going to quit.
No. You find the room. It's down in the basement because no one likes to have that around everyone else. There's an elevator down there that's not used by anyone else as well, for carrying stuff up and down to the level where they can get to the road. Inside is pretty much as you'd expect. So you've got storage in a cold place for corpses and as you might expect, the one that you are interested in is the one that was still out. There isn't anyone there working that you can see at this time.
Well, in that case, I'm going to go dive right in and going to get all the information I can. So,
Yeah, that's
any files
excellent.
around, any toe
So we'll
tag, anything written down near the body, anything at all.
Okay, there is the aforementioned toe tag. There's a name. It says George Reed.
Does the name mean anything to you, Sonia?
It does not, off the top of my head.
That's a relief because I've never told you it before. I mean, if you'd recognised it, I'd have been doing something wrong.
I'm going to write it down.
Yeah, Felix pulls out like one of those little disposable cameras and is just snapping photos of it.
Okay, so it's still a little bit bloated. The autopsy's been done, so it has been cut open. There is, it's been sewn back up again because they might want to be able to give it a burial.
How did he die?
Yeah, can I roll some medicine on this sucker?
Yeah, I think. Excuse me, I'm going to take a drink real quick. Listening back to that last session, I actually very much sound like someone who had just had a cold and was talking at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be. It's going to be intelligence and medicine.
Okay.
I'm going to say difficulty 5.
Can I make this roll too?
You can give it a shot. Felix, you get your. Not emergency.
No, it's not really.
Do it without, and then we'll see. You've always got willpower. I want to be strict about that.
Yep.
Sonia, if you also want to roll, or do you want to help Felix?
I can have I've got with medicine and intelligence, I can roll 5 dice.
If you want to do it, you can roll them bones.
So
I got 6 of 2.
You've got 6.
Yeah, but the DC was 5, so you're in. You're fine.
Oh, good, you did it. Fair enough.
You got a crit, I think.
Yeah, I got a crit. I was going to say I can re-roll with willpower if I need to.
I'm not going to make you re-roll with willpower when you get a crit. I mean, yeah, the only better with that would be 2 crits, but no, you've done it. Okay, this body has been in water, clearly. They've taken some stuff out and done some tests, and what they have found is you got a blood type. It's O positive. The lungs were full up with water, which meant that the body had drowned. George had drowned. There were no signs of struggle. No bites, no scratches. Blood was all still there, so nothing like exsanguinated.
I have an annoying question about the water that was in the lungs.
Yeah.
Do we have, so I guess maybe it's a 2-part. Do we have like autopsy notes that are like with the body, or are we figuring this out as I'm poking around with the body?
I think this is you poking around with the body just now. If you want to look for notes, we can look for notes.
No, that's okay. So my annoying question is, when I look into the lungs, right, when I examine them, like maybe I draw some water out myself with the tools or something. Does it look like the lungs have suffered a trauma? Like, is there blood in the water? Is it just water? Is there some kind of like indication that, because like usually when people drown, the lungs themselves might bleed. Mm-hmm. But sometimes bodies dropped into the water after they've already died. They just have water filling it with no.
Give me a second.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. No,
I told you it was an annoying one.
It's not an annoying one because I want to be accurate about this, and if you've got better like info, that's fine. Because like I'm good at a lot of stuff, but I'm not an expert in autopsies at the moment. Yeah, there is some blood in the lungs.
Okay, so it's looking like an actual drowning. Any sign of like bruising around the head, torso area?
No marks at all. No signs of struggle.
While he's doing that, I'll have to be looking at every piece of written word available around the body. Would that be on a computer, in files, on the toe tag? Every word that's been written down near this body, I would like to read.
Are you going to be doing some hacking to try and get on the computer?
I will try to do some hacking to get on the computer.
That is a thing you can do, I believe, and we haven't actually done that yet. So I'm just like,
it's not something that I'm super amazing at, but I can do it.
Yeah, I'm just making sure I do it right because I had some extra notes that I'd seen about more interesting hacking roles.
I can't help but think of that really bad movie from the 90s called Hackers.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like...
I always think of that. That's why I did. I'm in when you had the thing working. That's driving. That's not what I'm after. Where are you? I had notes of all this stuff, and it's. I need a better system for finding things that I've made a note about. Tracking, perception, research. It's not that kind of research. Okay, because you see, it gives levels for how difficult it should be for different, depending on what you're hacking into. Okay, it's going to be intelligence technology difficulty 4. How are you feeling about that, Sonia?
Not confident.
Give it a go. Oh, you're close.
I'm going to use
Got 3.
I'm going to use a thing to reroll 2 of those dice.
Okay, take off 1 willpower. You can reroll 2. You're aiming for 6 or above. And if you get a 10, you didn't. Don't worry about it.
I got an 8.
Okay, you're up to 4 successes.
Getting there. I'm a hacker.
Yeah,
So
you're an
just-
elite hacker.
To start with, the way this plays out is you start going for the password. It's not worked in the first 2 times. It's already giving you a warning that on the 3rd attempt you're going to be locked out. And somehow you find the right combination of letters and numbers and you get it. Inside there, the report is the most recently opened thing, so it actually just pops open as soon as you log into that account. So you've got access to the full autopsy report that was done already.
Can I download that to my phone somehow?
You could.
We can snap
probably-
photos of it.
Yeah, or you could send it to yourself. If you send it to yourself, you will probably leave a trail.
Yeah, we don't want a trail.
I am going to take pictures of it
Okay,
on the screen.
you have some pictures of the autopsy report.
Amazing.
Okay,
I like to take pictures of as many useful things as humanly possible on this computer now that it's open. But the only useful thing is the autopsy report, right? There's no other files with George Reed's name. I'll do a search for George Reed.
okay. Just to make you aware, we're now 2 clicks into my clock, which is 4 clicks in size.
Oh,
Does the autopsy report like list things found on the body and like their locations?
Yeah, it lists some of the stuff, but like all that is mainly clothes. Like they were clothes,
Okay.
They were in the water. There's not a lot more going on to it. Like it's almost suspicious how little there is.
Is there any like mention made of like the condition of the eardrums, or is that something I would see like looking the body over?
The eardrums are normal, more or less.
Okay.
The very basic layman's version of the report is that it looked like the person just walked into the water and stayed there.
Right.
It's entirely
Yeah,
consistent
super
with the
weird.
person just not. They weren't forced, they weren't pushed, they weren't assaulted beforehand.
Any sign of like drugs or alcohol in the autopsy report?
Oh, that's going to be something that will take you looking at the autopsy report for a bit more time.
Okay.
No, there's no
we can
sign-
look at that
hang on.
later.
There's no sign of drugs and there's no sign of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of other things I'm not sure about, but that's more detailed stuff that's later in the report.
I take pictures of the whole thing. Is there anything comes up if I search for George Reed on the computer?
He is not known in this area, so he's
Alright,
not
good
got a
to
the. I'm going to explain this for the benefit of people who aren't based in the UK. The way the NHS works is that you've got like an area for each hospital. The health. I can't even find the words right now. There's like regions for health, And if you're not from that region, then you're not immediately available on that computer, and they'd have to grab you from like whatever region you're actually from to get your details. So, for instance, if I was to go to a hospital in London right now, I don't live in London, so they'd have to grab my details from a different system before they could do anything with them.
Okay.
George Reed's
Felix's-
details are not there.
I'm gonna suggest, or Felix is gonna suggest to Sonia that we like beat feet quick. We've got stuff that we can research at our leisure. Like I'm gonna say like I took blood samples or something like that, just in case.
Yeah, so maybe you've got some little slides.
Mm-hmm. Something that I can look at to do like my own toxicology on later.
Okay, I'm going to cover up any trace of it with it. I'm going to rub things down with the sleeve of my jacket.
I definitely had gloves on.
Okay.
And like a beard net and a
beard net, yeah, of course. 1 second.
I feel like it was normal even back then for people to be wearing masks in hospitals.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
So
you had to.
I was assuming that like we came in, or at least I came in masked up.
So yeah, 2012, I was actually working in a hospital for a time, and like my masks were a thing, and also like if you had long hair or beard, knitting that up would be quite standard as well.
Yeah, can't have that getting into a wound. All right, Felix is gonna make like little noises towards the door, like.
Sonia, are you going to move, or are you going to carry on researching at this point?
I'm going to leave with Felix.
Okay. Can you give me a quick roll for how well you've hidden your tracks? It's going to be.
Sure.
We're under a little bit of pressure, so I'm going to say it's. It's going to be resolve and technology, I think. And then we'll call it difficulty 4 for now. And this is just how well you do the thing you've tried to do.
I'm going to spend a willpower.
Okay.
Reroll that one.
Roll 1 die. Oh, okay, it's still a fail.
That's fine.
You've made a pretty good job of like the basics. If they don't look too hard, you'll be fine.
All right. Well,
and they shouldn't have like theoretically they shouldn't have a reason to look into it because we didn't take anything from the body, right? Like the body's there, so hopefully no harm, no foul. Let's get out of here.
Let's go.
Okay.
To the Batmobile.
Are you leaving in the specific? I'm going to call it the dirty lift because it's like this lift that they take stuff that's like medical.
That sounds good.
As opposed to like the clean lift where you take people on their way to surgery kind of thing.
It sounds like there'd be less people in the dirty lift, and it would be opposite the way we came in, right?
Yeah.
Or
so you're going up one floor, and then you're going to go along a corridor and out the door.
I like that idea so that like we don't give anybody the opportunity to look at us twice.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
1 sec.
No, don't roll things.
I gotta roll things.
You don't need to roll things.
You need to roll.
Sometimes when I run games, I roll things just to like make the anxiety level higher.
Yeah.
They're not actually for anything.
I don't think that's
for
what
something.
Related
Yeah,
to
I don't.
But
think
they only
that's
got
definitely-
they only got 2, so you don't need to worry right now.
But later, definitely worry later, for sure.
Maybe. Couldn't possibly. Okay. Brightly lit corridor as you come up to the second floor, to the ground floor. You make your way through the hospital without any real trouble. People see you. They see the scrubs. They don't really give a second look. That's one of the issues with like uniforms in places, that people look at the uniform and not the person.
And not the combat boots that we're probably both wearing.
Not the combat boots, not the brightly coloured hair beneath the wig.
the massive stick.
Have you got the massive stick?
Oh my
Got the
god!
massive stick.
I hope we need to get you a
Roll.
collapsible stick. All right, like let me make some modifications to that.
It's
There's a
fine.
thought.
Could make it telescoping like a baton. It'll be rad.
Do you have any idea how many hundreds of years that stick's been around for?
Yeah, well, it's not going to be along for too much longer if we just carry it around every place it gets confiscated.
Okay. You make your way out from the hospital. Your wheeled chariots await. You've got your samples.
I'm
We're cowboys on a steel horse. We ride.
I'm going to head back to the pub.
And in a little while, you may be wanted dead or alive.
It's true. It's true.
Because we've got some work to do.
Okay. Give me a real simple. Sorry. Going to be driving in something else just to make sure how this goes. Composure and drive, please.
Each?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you the difficulty. Just don't whiff it. Okay, that's a 1 from Sonia.
She rides bikes.
Yeah, she rides a bike. She rides bike good. And 2 from Felix. Okay, you haven't had any problems. You successfully ride your way out of Camberwell back.
So I think Felix is kind of high off this kind of thing. Like, he doesn't get excited about a lot, but like a caper.
Yeah, the blood's pumping.
Yeah, he's like, woo! He like rips off the mask like in the night. Stoked. Really gets that scooter cranking. He's like high-fiving Sonia. Like
someone hanging out of a bus. Just like...
Yeah, like you never see him this like pumped.
You arrive back at the Mitford Fox, and was it the Mitford Fox? Mitford Arms? I can't remember. Mitford something.
I think Mitford Arms. I think.
I wrote it at the top of every page for a while because I kept forgetting the name. It was Mitford Fox. I take it back. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I like Arms. Yeah,
Arms are great.
Everyone's a critic.
Back at the pub, do you chill for a bit? Do you like ride that high, or do you want to go straight into like read the stuff you got?
I'm going to start looking up online anything and everything about this George Reed guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll throw the blood into some centrifuges. I don't know. Start doing
You've
chemistry.
got a little homemade centrifuge.
Yeah.
You've made it with one of those heliotropes, like the things that you put pictures in and spin.
I just ripped apart a bunch of like kids animatronic things.
Yeah, and a lampshade, and it's just
just super ghetto. Just
Sonia, have you been in touch with Seth at all since you left?
I was texting him throughout the afternoon.
Yeah, but he knew you were going on the heist, and that you'd contact him if you needed him.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd like to give him a call.
Mm-hmm. Let me just do a quick roll on Seth's behalf. Going to be 3 and 4. Another 1. This is important. Oh no. Okay. Seth hasn't got anything new for you, but he's really pleased that it's gone well and you've got the stuff you were looking for.
Fair enough. Thank you for the work he's done, and I'd like to send him the pictures from the autopsy report.
Oh, okay. That might give me an excuse to re-roll that, actually. Because I'm never sure with NPCs whether they have willpower.
Does he get like a bonus from the drone footage from earlier?
Not on this.
Okay.
But now he's got pictures. Maybe. He found some CCTV footage. He's going to chase it up some more, but he found some CCTV footage.
It's fantastic.
Nice. Can he send it over?
Yep. And he's going to do that. He will. Is he uploading it to your Dropbox?
Sure, yeah. Whatever works.
Password protected zip file.
Whatever secure thing a nerd like him would set up to do this.
It wouldn't be that. It would be more complicated than that. But Seth knows and I don't. So let's just say he's done the thing that gets you the file.
We definitely need to send him an edible arrangement later.
An arrangement of edibles.
Yeah, hunters do that, right? Like little fruit cut into different fun shapes.
Fruit. Okay, yeah.
Someone just buys lots of hummus from Sainsbury's and they just sit there and play GameCube games on an emulator.
Just ship him a box full of Slim Jims and some hummus. I don't know. That's not quite as nice.
We call Slim Jims pepperami here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the concept is the same.
I have a box of Red Lobster biscuit mix in the cupboard right now, which is not a thing I've ever had. Anyway,
yeah,
I'm well off the subject. the CCTV footage he's found shows this guy, who you've seen a little bit more corpse-like tonight, walking around the previous day. What's a little bit concerning is where he's walking around. He's walking around a industrial estate in... oh, dang it, I've forgotten the name of the place. Looking quickly in my notes. Yeah, you've seen him in footage of him the previous day walking around an industrial estate in Walthamstow, which is where you were, Sonia.
Yeah. What was he doing?
Just looking at stuff. But then you arrive and he hangs around until you all leave. You can see yourself running out of the room when you turn the lights on, and then sort of building up the courage to go back in. And he was just there, nearby. No, not obvious, just hanging out, looking at his phone.
Who the fuck is this guy?
And more importantly, did someone who is looking out for you disappear him?
I don't know. Like, who would do that?
I don't know. Was he watching you? Is that what it looks like?
It looks like that. Or
Yeah.
watching, the both of you and Lucas.
So we are involved with a lot of different people, Sonia. I don't know the people who raised you, how far they would go to protect you. Or Simon, what he would do. I don't know. It may not be related to us at all, but I mean, looks like he's clearly watching
I can
us.
ask Millie. I'll just text Millie and ask, do you know who George... Oh, what's his fucking name?
Reed.
Do you know anyone called George Reed?
I had muted myself. You're asking if Seth knows anyone called George Reed?
I'm asking Millie.
Look, Millie, okay. That's a different set of stats. It's going to be a difficult one, but not impossible. She does not know George Reed. She's not heard the name before, but it's like she does admit it's a fairly generic name, and maybe she does know him and just forgot the name.
Does the footage kind of like end with him watching, or is there more of it that we haven't got to the end of?
It's been cut by Seth, but I imagine the footage is just from one static camera. So after he leaves, after you both leave in Lucas's car, he leaves a little while later. Presumably the footage continues, but it's been cut.
Felix, this is really fucked up.
I agree.
Why was he following us?
I don't know, but now maybe you see why I was so cautious about who we worked with. We are starting to get more attention. It is not good.
I'd like to call Simon.
Okay. It's late night on a Sunday, but Simon answers. Sonia, how are things? You recovered from your little trip to Walthamstow?
Yes, thank you.
You did good work. We'll get you that drone in the morning. I'm not able to organise things as easily on Sundays as I am during the week, but that drone will get to you.
Yeah, Simon, was anyone else with us in Walthamstow?
Anyone else? No, we hadn't sent anyone else because we're focusing on the purely the vampire things, and that was not a vampire issue. That was, well, they were hot, whatever they were. What was it Lucas said they were? Some kind of mindless corpse or something?
Yeah, something like that. It was pretty messed up.
You're okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just wanted to check something, but it doesn't matter.
No, what's bothering you?
It doesn't matter. Thanks, Simon.
Okay. And he hangs up.
Felix is like, well, is he lost a man?
He didn't mention anything. I didn't want to play him on our hand. All right, lesson learned.
So we can put it on the mystery pile. It is quite high, and it is not getting any shorter.
We have a pretty
I'm not
big
getting any
mystery
taller.
pile. This is all. There's a lot going on.
Yes, and we need to figure it out and fast.
While you've been out on the streets tonight, you've noticed there is an increased police presence. It's nothing to bother you because you're not breaking the law, particularly. Not the kind of law that they're worrying about anyway, but there is a lot more uniformed security, police, that kind of thing, around in general than there have been the previous couple of days.
I want to ask you, Sonia, what kind of man do you think just walks willingly into the water with no struggle and dies?
A man who wants to die?
Maybe. But even then, the body will fight.
A man who's really given up?
Right? They clawed themselves at their clothes. Sometimes drugs, right? Alcohol. Sometimes they pass out. Sometimes they're unconscious when they're put in the water.
Yeah.
Or sometimes there's something else.
Like what?
I'm thinking, you ever heard of the term fairy-led?
Fairy-led? No.
It's when you're ensorcelled by pixies. Their glamour, it hits you. You lose sense of time, surroundings. You disappear. Usually into the woods, the bushes, somewhere fairyland. There's an equivalent of that in almost every culture in the world.
So he got ensozzled by some magic.
I think there is some truth behind these stories, or they would not crop up all over.
Yeah.
And
That would explain it.
I have heard that sometimes vampires can be very captivating as well.
That they can. In fact, give me a second. Can I look up in some books or something if there's some kind of vampire glamour that can do this?
I think you may have seen it happen at the Shard.
Yeah.
So chances are when you saw it mentioned in the books when you were researching the previous day, you probably saw it of a thing called like a kind of dominate kind of thing or a compel kind of thing.
That's very possible, Felix.
There are lots of, possible explanations. I want to rule them out, which is why, I want to do my own workup on the blood and see if there's drugs that could explain this. But I do not know. I don't have the knowledge of the occult that Lucas has, obviously. I've heard rumors.
I can maybe see if there's any signs of vampirism.
Yes, I've had lots of. Sometimes different people call vampires different things in different cultures, right? So,
in fact, do you have a blood sample there? Can I test the blood for vampirism?
I think all the vampires that you've seen, the bodies disintegrated pretty quickly after they were killed. So that the body was not dust is probably indicative that it wasn't a vampire.
The only thing I could think to do is like to expose it to sunlight and see, because I think we've probably seen vampire vitae in the sun and that sort of thing. So
yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, it's dark now, so you'd have to wait till sunrise.
Yeah. We do have time to look at the autopsy report too, so that would definitely include like toxicology. Well, maybe it wouldn't because they usually have to send that to a lab, and then there's a time. So
let's read the autopsy report.
Yeah.
Okay. Broadly speaking, because I'm not an autopsy expert myself, I'm going to have to take another drink, I'm sorry.
I want total accuracy.
On the plus side, I haven't got chat AI to generate me an autopsy report, so swings and roundabouts.
No one watching or playing has
It
ever
would
seen
not
an
be
autopsy report. You can make up anything you like, and it would be great.
Although there was nothing found that was out of the ordinary generally, so the body looked disturbing. Everything about it was disturbingly ordinary. There wasn't any struggle. There wasn't any sign of scratches or bites. There's no blood loss, apart from there was a little bit of blood in the lungs. There was water in the lungs, which implied that they had just walked in there. There was some kind of residue on some bits of the skin, and that's been sent off for testing.
Where on the skin? Like face, hands, neck,
Arms.
Okay, like lower, upper.
Below the elbow.
Okay. Residue. Yeah, Felix is gonna have a think on that. As a player, no idea, but
Felix has heard. I'm not going to make you roll for this because I've seen what you've got, just in terms of intelligence, and I'd rather just not make you give you the possibility of not getting this. It's consistent with alchemic residue that you'd get from blood sorcery. So it's like blood mixed with a little something and then applied to the skin.
Okay. And we have been learning more about that because of Lucas, I feel like.
Yeah, and also the stuff that happened in the warehouse with all the neon lights in it. They were talking there about blood sorcery as well, and they were trying to do something.
So we've got kind of a... Oh, sorry.
Either the mindless corpses were protecting it, or the mindless corpses may have been a result from it.
Right. I was just saying, I think we're starting to get like a working theory. This is definitely some kind of supernatural intervention here. We don't know why, right? But it kind of seems like they're trying to get rid of this person for being inconvenient or another. So we should look more into this person, I think. Can we like cross-reference it with the body that we found in the tree and see if they like were part of the same social circle or anything like that?
Oh, that's going to be a couple of days to find that out. Although Seth could help as well, which will speed things up a little bit.
Yeah, I'll let him know.
Yeah, like just to see if they, worked or lived near each other or anything like that.
Okay, a neater way around that might be if Seth texts you, Sonia, saying, "Was that the guy in the video that you saw?"
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want me to keep looking for him in other CCTV? Okay. Then Seth is going to stay up for a while and see if he can find any other CCTV where that guy was present.
You're amazing, Seth. Thank you.
You're going to cross-reference George Reed with Juliet Cafferty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like any of the other suspicious deaths that we may have on our radar too.
Okay. Doing a quick little 5, 3. Okay, you can't at the moment see any sign that there's any overlap between them with the stuff you have right now. They're from different parts of London. George is from outside London altogether. You're not sure how he came to be here. He should have been from, originally, 2 years ago. You've got him living in where's it called? Luton. Which, despite the name of the airport, isn't really in London. Juliet Cafferty was from London.
And we don't really have access to like any of her medical information, right?
Not from here. Not easily.
Right.
That's going to be a hacking kind of thing to do. It's going to be tricky.
In terms of like location of the bodies found, was there like a significant distance?
So one of the things that they haven't ascertained just yet is how far the body might have moved once it was in the river. So
Right.
it's been found at the bridge, but it may have been upstream where it actually went in.
She was definitely placed there.
Yeah.
Yep. When we observed the body, you said there was like residue on the arms. Would it have been something that was visible to us or visible in the photographs?
It wasn't totally visible to you when you saw the body, but it's possible that that had been removed and the residue wasn't. It was doing well to stay on in the first place. It must have been kind of an oily.
I wish I'd brought a UV light.
An oily aspect to it so that it stayed on the body in the water in the first place.
From now on, pocket UV light, taking it everywhere.
Adding the UV light to your general kit.
All right, Sona, do you have any like feelings about any of this stuff?
I feel that it's probably getting pretty late. Maybe we should turn and get a full night's sleep and get up and then get a fresh on this in the morning.
Yeah, if you wish.
You both sleep in the little rooms at the bar.
Yeah, before like Felix retires, he wants to be extra sure that all the windows and doors are locked, that they have cameras facing out that'll like wake him up if there's motion.
Okay.
That kind of stuff. Like now that he knows or feels that there's people watching them, he wants to be aware.
Okay. I'm just going to make a note.
I don't know how complex these little tripwire can things are going to be, but he can get quite obsessed.
A couple of empty tins with tripwire between them. Yeah.
Yeah. Cans of beans on strings over doorways.
Felix really got into this beans thing. Really embraced it. Okay. The security doesn't trip during the night.
All right, cool. First thing in the morning, Felix will ask if you heard anything from Millie about George. I think you forgot to ask last night.
Oh, did I forget to reply to that? I think you
had said that she didn't know anything about George.
She couldn't remember if there was someone called George.
Know. Okay. Right. And then Seth was going to look into it. Who else can we call on? Simon, maybe? Oh, wait, you did talk to Simon. That was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. He didn't say anything about it at all.
Well, this is a little risky, but we could find where George Reed was staying.
Ooh.
And see if we can poke around.
Good idea. Let's go.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what else to do. So
that's quite some distance out of town. It's probably going to be. Give me a sec. Just double check how you do this, because that's a fairly considerable distance for people on bikes. Just quickly double check. That's the wrong bridge.
I'm sure Lucas would let us borrow some kind of vehicle. He's probably got like
Lucas has access to cars, yeah. But I'm just double checking how far we're talking. From there to the... Come on. The thing is, like, I don't know which order you're going to be doing this in, so whatever order I put it in, it's not going to mean that I don't have any flicking through pages. It's going to be a couple of hours on public transport or about an hour driving.
Yeah, our driving is not bad.
Okay. So Lucas arranges for you to have a car and a driver, and he takes you up to Luton.
I'll put my bike in the boot.
Sensible.
You guys have any like drive-through breakfast places in London?
Not in London as much, but like on your way out of London, there'll definitely be some places.
McDonald's, I say.
There's McDonald's, there'll be Greg's. There might even, like, I know around here there's Tim Hortons lately, but
I insist on McDonald's.
Yeah. America is like riddled with places like that, so I didn't know how likely it would be.
Sonia gets for her a bacon McMuffin and a sausage McMuffin. And the shitty hash brown and an orange juice. And gets the same and throws the exact order of Felix says, eat that, it is the breakfast of the gods.
He just wants 2 hash browns and an egg, and he's going to sandwich them together.
That's a delightful image. It's like the egg just going squish in the middle and like looking at the edges and big beard and it's going to be messy. You reach Luton. It's a fairly unassuming house when you get there. I'm just getting a look at exactly where this is going to be. I can do a good description of it for you. It's on a road of fairly anonymous looking houses. They're all what's that word for when they're not detached or semi-detached? My vocabulary is just shot tonight. Terrace. It's a row of terraced houses. It's kind of 2 windows above, 2 windows at the bottom, and a door in the middle. A lot of satellite dishes.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's terrace. A terrace is the word I was looking for.
Yeah, if I knew, I would help. I'm googling terraced houses right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you. They're all like one long line.
Actually, remembering the Discord, I can just stick a picture of the kind of place I'm thinking of in there.
Yeah.
That would be a help.
That makes sense.
Sort by date modified. So, yeah, that kind of thing. Very simple kind of house. Not fancy. But yeah, it's a house in a big row of houses that are just like that.
All right, let's circle it a couple of times, get a feel for the neighborhood, see if there's any activity out there.
It doesn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary. It's kind of mid-morning on a Monday.
Okay. Let's park like a block away and then walk up.
Okay, there's a little park nearby. There's some parking up the side of that. You could leave the car there. Or the driver can just stay with the car, I guess. It's kind of just what a council would call an environmental green space. So there's grass, there's some trees, there's a path running through it, but there's not a lot else.
Hopefully no trees with a body stuffed in them.
Nah, they're not big enough for that. Although, maybe some of them will be. Walking back, there's nothing particularly weird happening. There's people out, some people doing work on their cars, some people just like walking a dog. But the good people of the world, the normal people of the world are probably at work at this kind of time, whether in their own homes or out at an office or something.
All right. Is there like probably like a front entrance? Are there any other entrances, or is it like one way in, one way out?
There's a front entrance. There's probably a back door, but you can't see it from here. There's in the same way that there's a row of houses at the back. There's a row of back gardens, and they're all fenced at the back, and then a fence between each garden.
Maybe we should do that. Door. Oh, you're going to do the front? Okay.
Let's try the front door. See if it's open.
Okay.
I'll keep a lookout. Try to make sure we do this when no one's looking at the door.
Okay. So, Sonia, you're just going to try the door.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not opened. It's not unlocked. But you think you can... How's your larceny, actually?
It's not good.
No, it's not.
However...
Your melee, however... So, given you can't open it elegantly, you could just hit it hard and try. Or does Felix want to try that?
Just hit it with Raphael's light.
Well, I mean, it would be pretty vulgar, I feel like, to just kick in the door. I do have that lockpick gun thing.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
And I think that would be a little quieter. Not that I don't like your method. I just think there's a time and a place for it, maybe.
Okay, so you've got this device. Can you describe how the lockpick gun goes? Because I remember chatting with you about it, but
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up on the page. But from what I understand of it, it's just like a little handheld device that has like a trigger, like a gun, and then it's got like a picky part. And what happens is when you stick it in the lock and you pull the trigger, it like smacks it so that all the tumblers kind of fall into place, and it does it pretty rapid fire.
Though.
Like it goes zzz, like it tries multiple times. Like it kind of brute forces the lock, like it bounces until all the tumblers go in. I just want to see on my sheet. I think there are rules for it.
Yep, I'm just double checking.
If I can just find where I put them. I think it gives like a bonus on.
So
larceny.
straight from the book, lockpicking requires a dedicated, delicate hand and extensive training, or it requires a device that fires a steel rod at the lock, releases a cylinder, and sticks a fine metal rod into open the lock. Much faster than lockpicking, a lockpick gun takes a matter of seconds to open the lock. It's also quiet, a soft punch and click sound. You've been loaned this by the intelligence services. Okay, one person new looking. Okay, so it gives you 4 dice to a dexterity larceny roll.
Okay.
So give me a dexterity larceny roll with a +4.
Okay.
Nice.
And
I don't know if you really need to at this point.
What's my difficulty?
It's only going to be 3 because it's a fairly standard everyday lock.
Yeah. Let's see. 4 out of 3.
Do you want willpower?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, hang on. 4 out of 3. Yeah, you don't need to willpower. I'm an idiot. Sorry. Okay. I misheard what you were doing.
Definitely not an idiot.
Sorry. Brain fuzz is kicking in. The door...
I was just going to do it so I could stunt and go crazy on it.
You fire the lockpick gun into the lock. You hear a soft pop as it enters and then a click and the lock is open. And now the door will open easily.
Felix will wave Sonia in quickly and then close it behind us. And depending on the light conditions, might pop on a little flashlight.
Okay. So, Sonia, the door's open.
All right, I'd like to walk in. And I'd like to tip my... I'm not wearing a hat, but I'll tip my hat to Felix and walk in.
All right. He'll shut it quickly behind us and lock it. And then draw the curtains closed. Oh, the gun doesn't destroy the lock.
It doesn't. So you can just push it shut and it'll, it could be one of those things where you turn the handle on the...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's say it's that.
And then, okay. Yeah, and then if there's open windows in that entryway or something, he'll close the curtains.
It's not visible through the door has got glass bits to it, but it's not letting a lot of light in. People won't be able to see you. There's what are they called? Very thin curtains that are semi-opaque. They're up in the windows, so they're letting light in, but you're not visible through them.
The word that I thought of was diaphanous.
Diaphanous is a better word. That's the word I should have been reaching for. I thought I was doing quite well to just get to opaque rather than a bit see-through.
We're in George's house.
You're in his house.
What can we see in his house?
Disturbingly ordinary. Inside there's a lounge, got a sofa and a couple of armchairs. There's a television. Kitchen's
Any
got
sign of a trade? Oh, sorry.
A trade. Oh,
A blue collar guy might have a hard hat and some boots.
It's feeling. He's feeling more like an office kind of guy.
Does he have an office or a desk or anything, like a computer, some kind of work area?
That's going to be an upstairs question.
Can I go upstairs and ask that question?
Yeah, you can go upstairs and ask that question. Okay. I'm just wanting to make sure I've covered. He's got fairly ordinary life. There's actual food in the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
And sense that it was used. So
you go check for beans. I'll go check his computer.
I hope he has good beans.
Okay, I've got to do this then. He has beans.
Yes, I hope they're the baked beans with like the salt pork in it.
He hasn't got in with salt pork. He's got like a 4-pack of standard Heinz baked beans.
It'll do.
Okay. Sonia, upstairs there is a bedroom. What looks like it's meant to be a spare bedroom, but it's full of like there's some exercise equipment. There's some like a stationary bicycle. There's a couple of things for like hanging clothes on indoors. Some clothes that are just like very dry.
Right.
And a laptop on a desk.
A laptop?
Laptop on a desk.
Okay, I'll check this desk for any papers or anything.
Nothing obvious. It's just like some receipts, some little random bits of lists that don't make any sense.
Right, I'll check the laptop.
Okay. And again. Okay, laptop doesn't have a very difficult password. You're probably going to get it quite easily. It's going to be a 2 difficulty if you want to give me a intelligence technology.
Success.
Perfect. So you're into this laptop. It's running whatever the previous version of Windows would be at this time. I wasn't using Windows at this time, so I'm not sure. But
Windows Vista or some shit.
possibly.
Yeah, it's past 98. Probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's after XP, but it's before Windows 10.
Some nonsense.
I'm not going to be so cruel as to give him Windows ME.
But I cracked that fucker.
Okay. On it, it's just normal, like, again, disturbingly normal stuff. Like, he's got some interest, there's some text, there's some letters that he's written, there's some evidence that he uses a couple of basic websites.
You know what I want to do?
What do you want to do?
I want to take the hard drive out of this fucking laptop.
You could do
Maybe
that.
we can clone it or something too.
You could just take the laptop, probably. He's dead.
I'll just take the laptop.
There isn't a clock running here.
I'll just take the laptop.
If this guy was following you around, Sonia, like, wouldn't he have notes or something like that?
That's what I'm thinking, is I'm taking the laptop. Like, is there any... I want to search this fucking place, like, root and stem.
It's going to take a while.
Well,
We got all day. I mean, it took us an hour to get here.
Let's go. Let's do
Be
it.
super thorough. Let's like open all the books.
Lift the carpet.
Yeah. Check all the cans of hairspray to see if there's like microfiche inside.
All the cans of hairspray.
All of the cans of beans, they've actually got rolls of film stuck up into the beans.
Microfilm.
This is like the
No,
third
let's do
apartment we've checked out, and it's like, it's totally chill, guys. I'm like, God damn it.
I mean, the first one, the one with the ghost, wasn't.
True, yeah. Simon's was pretty banal.
I mean, Simon's was an Airbnb. That was just bad luck. That was the first one you tried to inspect and you found nothing. I'm desperately trying to find a more interesting role for searching. Okay, let's say resolve awareness, because there's a lot of distracting stuff here as well. So you're looking for something that you recognise. So can you both give me a resolve awareness, and the height of the number of successes will depend on how much stuff we find here.
I got 4.
So got 4 from Sonia. We got oh god. Okay, we got that.
That was terrible, but
Yeah.
I'm happy to let Sonia lead.
So yeah, the way this goes is that Sonia's doing a lot of the finding stuff. Felix is contributing, but it is possible that he's mainly doing like the groundwork. So he's finding that there aren't microfilms in the beans. The hairspray is intact.
He's very distracted.
Yeah, he's trying out everything, but finding very little.
digging through the trash.
Yeah, you've ruled out so many possibilities. Sonia, you haven't found a lot initially, but under the bed is a folder of what looks like letters threatening blackmail.
Right.
What he was doing is kind of unclear. It's the language used is so opaque that he probably knows, and the person sending it knows, but you don't know from reading it. But the tone of the letter is essentially, we know you were doing this stuff, that was bad. If you don't want us to not tell anyone about it, come here at this time and await our instructions.
Hey, Sonia, how much do you want to bet he tried to blackmail a vampire and it did not go well?
Oh, shit.
Where did they ask to meet? Is it specific? Or you said it was hard to... It was kind of like ciphered, right?
It's more like what he did was unclear. Where they asked to meet was... I have to check another window for this. Where was it? Come on. Not there. Not there. Crystal Palace subway.
Is there going to be a meeting? Is there a meeting? Is there
the meeting? Or the date of it's in the past. It's February.
Yeah,
right?
I bet it now.
No meeting coming up or anything.
No.
Damn, that would have been fun. Okay. Well, I'll take copies of all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He must have had a place to store the evidence that he had on folks he was trying to blackmail too, unless it was just the one. Was it?
I've got the laptop. I've got the files.
Yeah.
So I don't accidentally mislead you here. It looks like he was the one being blackmailed rather than he was trying to blackmail someone else.
Got you.
Yeah, I figured that maybe a vampire or maybe somebody else was blackmailing him to follow me.
Maybe.
Which is weird.
I know if I was a vampire, I would want the chosen one dead.
Did we find anything else, or is this it?
That's the stuff that you find that's unusual. The rest of the stuff is some bank statements, there's some bills, there's manuals for some of the equipment that's like in the house, like stuff in the kitchen, television.
I'm gonna snag the most recent bank thing.
Okay.
Because that will, like, if it's a statement, we'll see what kind of purchases they've been making, any major deposits, and from where.
Mm-hmm.
Does this place look like a place that was lived in?
It does. There's books, there's some video games, there's music. Yeah, that would still be a thing at this point.
What video games?
I can't tell you off the top of my head. Let me just quickly...
Conker's Bad Fur Day. Worms Armageddon.
Are we talking the PlayStation Man?
No, PC. He was probably playing games on the laptop, so nothing too fancy.
Big Sims guy.
I suspect Command and Conquer.
So I was thinking Red Alert. Red
Civilization.
Alert yeah, Civ 5, maybe. Was that out then? I've lost track of the Civ games, but yeah, like big brain PC games.
Boring.
Yeah, he seems really boring. Why would anybody want to blackmail him? You know?
Boring.
It's a good question that we should dig into.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with him. It's just that he's a single guy in a house, clearly has work. Someone tried to blackmail him about something that had happened. Thing unclear at the moment.
Oh, we searched everywhere. There's no point sticking around. We should probably head back.
Yeah. Which one of your friends is good at figuring out this kind of crap?
I can get the whole team round. We can get to work on this.
Ooh. And with that, in the offing, I think we'll call it there. Because about that time. And I
Oh,
don't,
yeah,
I
we'll
don't
get the
see,
A team on it.
I don't see
We got a lot of information. We did a lot of investigating. We got a lot of info.
He did a little heist in the hospital.
Yeah, that was fun. And it was successful.
I honestly
which,
thought
you
that was
know,
going to go so much worse than it did.
Yeah.
We are a proper little team, is what we are.
Heck
We're
yeah.
getting shit done.
Hell yeah.
Okay, thank you for watching this episode of our game of Hunt the Reckoning. The next session will be on the 16th of June. The next game on this channel will be Shattered Footsteps, which is our ongoing die campaign, tomorrow at 8 p.m. BST, 9 p.m. Central European, and 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Masks of Nyarlathotep will be on Saturday at 9 p.m. BST, 4 p.m. Eastern, and for more information on the channel, please see the Discord. If you want more TTRPG actual plays, we've got about 130 something videos on the YouTube channel now, including Mad as Hell, which we played last week and has now completed a very successful Kickstarter campaign. Thank you to our wonderful players for playing, and thank you to you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.
Bye.